Hey Pinknet, welcome to my life. Do you want me to look at a specific question? So my name is Ernesto Cabral de Luna, and I'm a Mexican artist. I moved to Canada when I was 10, so I've been living here for most of my life, but I think that most of my work has to do with this dual hybrid identity as a member of the diaspora. So usually I work in two processes. I grab the analog aspect of my work and then I bring it back to digital through scanning often, maybe sometimes photography. I think that being able to jump between both realms kind of speaks to this hybridity of my identity, and I'm able to do certain things that just one way or the other I wouldn't be able to do. So often I like for my viewer to think about their own history, their own family, where they come from. Specifically, I'm speaking towards an immigrant audience in Canada, an audience that also belongs to a different diaspora, and I want them to consider like what role these memories hold for us and how they connect us to home. Like sometimes I've done work with thermal paper. That project specifically was about disappeared people in Mexico. So I really wanted to speak about how these people were seen as disposable by the state. So I used heat to absent the faces of the people that were disappeared. Other times I'll work, like right now for my thesis project, I've been working a lot with copper, with archival images. I rust the copper. I also play with corrugated metal, and I'm just really thinking about how the material speaks to my culture. It speaks to, like, it reminds me a lot of Mexico. And I'm making the image permanent through material that is also decaying. So sometimes I think that that's kind of how I see my identity, right? Like I'm trying to find a memory that speaks to me. Often, like when I'm going through the images, people will be like, why did you choose that image to play with? And I don't know, there's a certain specific emotion or feeling that it's given to me. So working with photography, I think it opens up a lot of avenues. Like not only is it a thing that all of us have in our pocket with our phones, but we live in an image saturated world. So I often, while I do like using a camera and taking my own photos, I like documentation of events the most. I think there's a lot of images out there in the world, so I just like to use what I have already and try to give it a different spin. I like to work with familiar imagery, but make it unrecognizable, or at least let someone see it in a different light. So this work is from my series, Mining for Some Sort of Continuity. It's all mostly a combination of photos that I took in Mexico last summer. It was the first time that I went back in 10 years. And also archival images, a lot of family images that I kind of stole from my aunt. As you can see, a lot of it has to do with metal. I've been using corrugated metal, corrugated steel to create my pieces, as well as copper and broken pieces of glass. I think these are just like odd and unique canvases for photograph. It all speaks about this feeling of fragmentation. This piece specifically is 6 different pieces of copper that have been put together. This piece is made up by 5 different pieces of corrugated steel. And even if the glass pieces, like the one behind me, is only one piece, it's part of a bigger whole. So it still speaks to that idea of fragmentation, which I'm trying to get at in terms of like what I feel like my identity and my relation to my home is. So the project was inspired by Mexican exvotos or retablos. They are paintings from the 20th century that were created on metal. Usually it was tin, like things that were made available. And they were offerings made to a saint as a form of thanks or to ask for something. It was mostly for an illiterate public, so they were wanted to create an imagery of something that happened, a divine intervention, whether they got in a car accident and they didn't die, or they broke their leg and they got healed. When I started doing this and I went back to Mexico to take my own photos, I was taking photos of lucha libre, which is something that I never got to experience because I moved here too young, or different festivities that I ran into. This is a piece from a cockfight that I went to check out near my hometown. This is also from Lucha Libre. It's the whole crowd in my hometown that is just gathered together for this event. Little booklets that I have. Like this is some Jet Libre work, some of the cockfights. This is a bull riding called Haripeo, and yeah, just festivities. So this work is actually going to be exhibited in 2 places coming up. From May 1st to May 5th, OCAD has their big GradEx exhibition. The whole building just turns into a gallery, really. I'm going to be showing in half of this space alongside my friend Delali Coffee. And then after that, on May 10th until I think July 15th, I'm going to be showing some of these other pieces at X Space Cultural Center. So please come out. It'd be fun to meet new faces and hear what you guys think about the art. So thanks again for coming and having this chat with me, looking at the work. It was lovely to be able to chat, but it's a beautiful day and I want to get out there and enjoy it. So hope to do this again sometime soon. Bye.